Okay, Keenan, according to StreamYard, we are live. I want to welcome everybody back to another episode of Catalyst Talks. All of this is about leadership and strategy in a changing world. So I love having on people that I watch. Either I know them personally or I see them on social media. They're doing great things. And Keenan Beasley is one of the quintessential examples of the innovation and hustle required right now in the era of COVID, and everything he's done before now is just building on it. Keenan, thanks for being here today. How are you doing? Your biography's all on the bottom so people can learn more about you there. But what are you working on? What's most important? What's top of mind right now?
Man, thank you for having me. It's been far too long. But yeah, no, I'm doing great. Definitely busier now than ever with all these Zoom calls and whatnot. So productivity is at an all-time high. But yeah, I'm working on really two ventures. One is my nonprofit, which is Venture Noir. It's a venture catalyst organization. We got our initial grant from the Walton Family Foundation, and it's just a mission to help create and expand more diverse-led businesses in the country. The second thing I have is really my own venture studio. So it's my own process of going through that. And we've created now 5 brands. Our primary brand is called Sunday to Sunday. So you can find that at mysundaytosunday.com. It's really the world's first active hair care brand for textured hair women. So really excited about
that's
that.
what I'm pulling up on the screen here. So that's Sunday to Sunday?
Yep. So really excited going after the insights of, no one's talked to Black women about how to maintain their hair while they're trying to work out and be healthy. And we've seen now that, you have 40% obesity rates within Black women, and it's primarily because they don't want to work out and mess up their hair. So we had to address that because it's actually a health concern, not just a beauty concern.
Yeah. Well, it's fascinating how many things, and this is just one example where unintentional design, though unintentional, leads to consequences you never imagined. So I heard a woman speak recently at a conference who basically just called out the hotel she was staying in because the hotel shower only offered one nozzle, and that is straight down, as opposed to the option of head on or straight down. And just explain for the audience, the importance of that in terms of hair and hair care and how it might impact a person.
Yeah, so textured hair women, so women with thicker, curlier hair, kind of coarse like mine, tend to wash their hair once a week, sometimes once every other week. So that's because the time of drying based on their porosity levels is cumbersome. So, if you have only one option, well, now she's stuck on how she can actually bathe because she's not going to sacrifice ruining her hair or adding that time into her process. So that typically happens on wash day, which is Sunday, hence the name of the brand, Sunday to Sunday. We want to help you get from Sunday to Sunday. So let's manage the time period in between, and really that's where life and activity is happening.
Yeah. So let's talk about your own personal brand. A lot of what we talk about in terms of innovation and strategy in a changing world has to do with how you present yourself. And just your own website is phenomenal. I tell people all the time, people will be what they can see. So what are we seeing in this video besides just a general badass? Tell me all about that right there.
You know what it is part of it. The process of entrepreneurship is intimidating for a lot of folks. So what I've done is tried to add a sense of normalcy to it. And it's really just about embracing your own authentic self. And that's what I do. We're West Pointers, so we're built to serve. And that's what my job is as an entrepreneur. But I'm going to do it in my own unique way, right? I'm going to bring my level of authenticity. So that's what you see on my brand. It's about who I am, the facets of life that I love, which is sometimes flashy, a lot of fitness and working out, some aggression in there. But there's still a lot of teaching and service and how I give back. And that's what my focus is as an individual. And that's what the focus is across all the brands.
Well, coach, teaching, mentoring has always been a personal quest of mine. I think the fact that you're doing it now for those of you who don't know our joint story, Keenan was a student at West Point in one of the classes I taught. And from that moment on, I knew you were something special, but you've certainly proved it time and time again through the way you've done it. But now you yourself are really using your voice. I was particularly struck by your article in VentureBeat, the op-ed that you wrote. So I'm going to pull that up on the screen. So just kind of, we've heard this story before, but you told it eloquently in a way that I hope people are paying attention. So go into more detail as needed.
Yeah, I think the conversation around impact investing, but particularly investing in Black entrepreneurs right now, has become this moral conversation around what's right and what's wrong. And I think it's throwing a lot of people, because I think people have not invested in Black folks, and not because of racism, but just because of sheer ignorance sometimes and not understanding the opportunity. So what I'm trying to do is really shape the conversation on, it's just smart business to invest in impact investing and invest in diverse entrepreneurs. Companies are more profitable, more successful, more innovative when they're diverse. And that's why you should do that, because business is about getting better returns. And so if impact investing gives you better returns, you should probably do that if you're in business. So I'm trying to really strip the emotion out of the conversation and highlight the opportunity for investors, for business creators.
Yeah, we've only got a few minutes here, trying to keep it under 10 minutes, but I want to go a little deeper into one of the sections of your paper that you talk about, which is generational wealth. A buddy of mine from high school, and actually middle school, forwarded me an article that I'd never even heard about, the concept of boots and the boots theory. And it simply goes like this. If you are a person of means that has enough money to be able to buy a pair of boots that are quality made and they're going to last 5 years, and even if this pair of boots is $50, you only have to buy one pair of boots every 5 years. And oh, by the way, your feet never get wet. But if you are not able to afford a $50 pair of boots, you're buying a $10 pair of boots, or worse, a $20 pair of boots that only last 1 year, meaning that you're buying a substandard pair of boots every single year. And we can take this concept of generational wealth into a lot of different areas. Talk about that either through your own personal journey, how you're teaching others today to think about what we've done in the past and the impact it's having on today, and what people can do to reverse it.
Yeah, I mean, look, generational wealth is the goal for every family, every person in this country. It's what we're founded on. I think the pathway to creating generational wealth is typically through entrepreneurship, right? And liquidity events is obviously what I'm focused on. But what you find when you get into communities of color, because they don't have the initial startup capital, they're not building that intellectual property. Intellectual property has a cost to build. It typically means you're going to run that business in the red. So that means you have to have enough backing to run that business in the red for a number of years to then get the extraction of value. What I'm finding is you look at a lot of entrepreneurs of color, they're starting service-based businesses because it's a low startup cost. But that low startup cost also has an extremely low and often no value on the exit, meaning you're unable to then create the liquidity event to garner the generational wealth. So we have to democratize the starting process now so that people can actually build the innovation and build proper IP.
It's important for people that maybe aren't in finance or aren't in investing to really understand that point you made, which is, if I've got a business and it's a service business, and basically every person that comes in, I am interacting with him or her, and I am giving them a service, they are giving me money at that point in time. That is almost impossible to scale. Correct. And if you are going to scale a service business, every person in that chain is getting paid, meaning that it's very hard to get to a 10 customers for every one person because it's a service being provided. So how do you help people think that through, either to understand the difference or what you're doing with some of the work you're doing to go past that?
Yeah, I think a lot of it is sharing my own personal story, right? I mean, it's no secret. I started Black Box with another West Point grad. We built a $5 to $7 million business, annually, and yet didn't create wealth for ourselves because it had no value on an exit. So we each had to go and pivot to come up with something else. So I am absolutely a story of that, where I created a seemingly successful business, but yet didn't accomplish the mission. And so what I really focus on is teaching folks on how to create IP and how to create, an investable business, because an investable business has the best chance of creating wealth and generational wealth. So I go through that process from concept all the way through to exit, through Venture Noir and also within my own studio.
And so we put most of these up here. We're almost up to 10 minutes. So I got to make this fast so we can get it on to move her over onto LinkedIn. In under 15, 20 seconds, how do people reach you? You've got multiple different places. What's the easiest way for them to reach you?
Easiest way is on Instagram. You can reach me at Keenan Beasley, or you can email me at keenan@keenanbeasley.com. I'm pretty easy. It's always my name, Keenan Beasley. On anything, you can get to me.
Well said. And with that, thank you very much for being on Catalyst Talks, and I look forward to catching up in the future.
Definitely.